Welcome to another episode of Cyber Chronicles, where today we're diving into the world of social media, where not everything is as it seems. Have you ever received a friend request from someone you barely know, but you decide to accept it because, well, why not? That's exactly how my story begins, with a simple click that almost turned my world upside down. It was an ordinary day, and I was scrolling through my social media feed, catching up on the latest news and updates from friends. That's when I received a friend request from someone who seemed vaguely familiar. Their profile picture was a friendly face, and we had a few mutual connections on the platform. It wasn't unusual for me to receive friend requests from people I'd met briefly at networking events, so I thought nothing of it and accepted. I simply clicked my mouse and accepted. That's it. Clicked my mouse and I accepted. Things started off innocently enough. We exchanged a few messages, talked about the weather, and even reminisced about the one event where, in quotes, we supposedly met. The conversation was light, friendly, and completely normal, or so I thought. Over the next few days, the tone of our conversations began to shift. The messages became more inquisitive and the questions more personal. They asked about my job, the projects I was working on, and even some of my company's internal practices. At first, I didn't think much of it. After all, we're in the same industry, and it's not unusual for professionals to discuss work related topics, right? But then they started asking for favors, little things at first. Can you share that document we talked about? Or do you mind sending me that presentation you mentioned? I hesitated. Something didn't feel right. Why was this person so interested in my work? And why were they asking for files that, while not highly sensitive, were still internal documents? The clock was ticking. That's when the red flags became impossible to ignore. I decided to do a little digging. I checked their profile again, and this time I noticed things I hadn't seen before. Their profile was relatively new, with very few posts and only a handful of connections, most of which were mutual with mine. Their timeline didn't seem to have any real history, just generic posts that anyone could have made. It was as if their profile had been created just for the purpose of connecting with people like me. I started feeling uneasy, so I researched and searched for their name again online, looking for any other social media profiles or professional pages. Nothing. No LinkedIn, no X.com or Twitter, no other presence at all. That's when it hit me. I was dealing with a fake profile created by someone who was trying to extract information from me through social engineering. Hmm. I immediately stopped responding to their messages and began to backtrack. I reviewed all the information I had shared with them, trying to assess the damage. Thankfully, I hadn't shared anything too sensitive, but it was a close call. I reported the profile to the social media platform and blocked them. Within a day, the profile was taken down, but the experience left me shaking. The lesson is simple. The lesson here is simple, yet powerful. Be cautious about who you connect with online, even if they seem familiar. Social engineers are masters of deception, and they will use any tactic to gain your trust and extract information. Always verify the identity of new contacts, especially if they start asking for personal or work related details. Social media is a fantastic tool for networking and staying connected, but it's also a hunting ground for scammers and social engineers. Stay vigilant and don't let a fake friend request turn into a real life nightmare.